is what you can expect if you're wired to in weirdo. So we welcome all the newbies and the groupies, flashing boobies in the movies without cooties. In the show, it's got you drooling with this comedy, no fooling. Now presenting you your host is Steve and Doolin. Word, NerdtopiaCast.blogspot.com, Facebook.com/NerdtopiaCast, also YouTube and podcast. 38 seconds.
Hey, what's happening, Nerdtopia? This is Doolin Dalton.
Steve Wareham.
And let's go ahead and get down to nerdy. We'll jump right into it this week. What do you think, Steve?
Wait, hold on. Golly! No, it's...
Oh, and holy shit, man. Like, we're, what now? 5 days out from DragonCon, man.
It's a DragonCon!
This...
It's a DragonCon!
Holy shit, man. This is like, we're out here on the East Coast. We're on the east side of the country.
Yep.
So San Diego's a little far away for Comic-Con, but this is our Comic-Con over here, man.
Did you know that San Diego means a whale's vagina?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve, I knew that. That's the first thing they taught me in first
San
grade.
Diego.
Yeah, that's the first thing they taught us in first grade, Steve.
It's true. Look it up. It's in the Bible. To the red words.
Somewhere in the index?
Yeah, no, it's towards the back.
I hate you. So, no, man, so so was it Monday now? So we're like 5 days out from DragonCon? 4 days. 4 days. Maybe 5.
I don't know math. Math is hard.
We're a couple days out from DragonCon, man. We're less than a week. So, yeah, man, exciting stuff. I've been perusing through my DragonCon progress report over the last couple days. A lot of exciting stuff. And by the way, guys, next time you hear from us, we've got a two-parter DragonCon episode coming up. Maybe we'll do a little bit more there. We haven't really felt it out.
Yeah. I think first, we wanna really set it up and have, we want to leave on a cliffhanger. Maybe somebody's going through, is hooked on caffeine pills, or
maybe at the end of this episode, Juggernaut breaks in.
Ben Affleck is Juggernaut, and he's hopped up on steroids. And just screaming, yelling at people, Affleck mad.
I honestly think that at the end of this episode,
yeah,
we should have Juggernaut bust in, and it'll be like, what'll happen to Doolin and Steve? Find out next week at DragonCon. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
That should be a rap song. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I'm sure they've done a remix of it. Wait a minute.
I don't think they have.
Oh, really? I'm on it right now.
What?
Look at this.
No.
Hold on, wait a minute. I think I found something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rumpelfilfskin,
I'm the Juggernaut bitch remix. Let's check this out, shall we?
Okay.
It's epic. That's epic shit.
Yeah, the Juggernaut bitch.
Not a very good remix.
No, Rumpelfilfskin. You really kind of let us down.
You could do better. You know what?
Good there?
What's that?
Like a little poppy kind of like like a Taylor Swift kind of. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. It's something lilting a little bit. It had a melody, like a good hook to it.
Well, I don't know if our listeners are aware, but you and I recorded our own hit single last year.
Yes.
It was called "Gamer's Lament."
Yeah, big and hungry.
Yeah, man, and we laid down some fat rhymes for a couple white boys. So of course, you and I have never, we grew up on 8th Street, probably.
I grew up on a terrace, actually. Not like a physical terrace, but I you'd find in Venice or something. But it was like
I grew up on the Sesame Street.
Did you really?
I grew up on the mean streets of Sesame, sir.
Did you actually grow up? Did you were you reared on Sesame Street?
I may have.
I lived next door to Elm Street.
Oh, it'd be funny if Sesame Street and Elm Street met at the corner. That would be a fucked up neighborhood, man.
Hey, Bert.
I can't sleep, Bert. What are you?
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. What are you doing with that glove, Bert? 3, 4, better lock the door. 5,
Count.
6, the counts can't help you now.
Count. Oh my god. No. But yeah, man. So Steve and I laid down a fat rhyme last year called "Gamer's Lament," and it was all about. It's all about Super Mario Brothers. I won't ruin it for you. Maybe we need to post that on the Nerdtopia Cast page. Because we did this far prior to far prior to starting the podcast. I mean, that's like when we knew we had it in us to create something.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing we could do was just get an app on your iPhones and like let's make a rap. For the hell of it, and we did, and it was pretty it was all right. It was all right. It was great. Really, it was okay.
I went on to have
all right, something to listen to.
No, it was good. It was good. You know, I listened to that song at least like 5 or 6 times. But yeah, no. There's a little app on the iPhone. I mean, everybody can do it. It's a little auto-tune app, and we just kind of laid something down. So we'll bring that to the table, you know, at some point soon, so we can reintroduce it to the world.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's time for a re-recording.
A remix?
Yeah, a re-recording. Like record it again. You know, update the lyrics a little bit, add a little bridge and a chorus in there because it's only like a 2-minute song. But yeah, man, I think we should do that.
No, I think you have to do a remix at this point. Wasn't the first one a remix though?
It has to be a song for you to remix. There was nothing to remix.
But I think I think remix is in there. I think the word remix is in there.
It's just Gamer's Lament. There's no remix.
I don't know.
Oh well. Anyhow, so we're about a couple days out from DragonCon, man.
Yep.
So next time you guys hear from us, we will be there.
And my hand will have graced the hands of Batman. Old chum!
Oh, that's right. We've got not only are we going to have Adam West there, but we're going to have Burt Ward there as well.
Robin, this man...
What? Hey, Batman!
Yes, old chum?
Why are they wearing shirts that clearly proclaim that they're henchmen?
Because, old chum, we have to delineate the good from the bad in order to make this a successful series.
We ran 3 seasons and got canceled. Oh no. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
But no, man, we're gonna have the original dynamic duo is gonna be.
That's
there,
gonna
man.
be awesome.
I'm excited about it. You know what I really wish is that Kevin Smith would come out for a little Fat Man on Batman.
Yeah, I've done my share of trying to get his attention over the past 10 years, and I really wasn't able to kind of grab him to pull him DragonCon. Last time he went, I think, was like 2002 from the notes that I've seen, or 2004 or something. He said that he attended a Klingon funeral, I think. There's an actual, like, real live Klingon funeral that he went to. It's the only time he ever went to, like, something like that. All the prodding that I've been able to do. Maybe it's an important weekend in the Smith household.
Well, he's also going to be just coming down. He's doing an evening with Kevin Smith out there at Star Wars weekends back near our home, back there in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
So we're gonna miss that. And that's why some of our Nerdtopian brethren aren't gonna make it out there because they're going to Star Wars weekends to see fucking Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Assholes.
If I honest to God, if I would have had some heads up on that, that would be a tough choice for me to make. To go and know that I could engage him in conversation versus going even to something this epic, that's a 50-50 proposition for me.
Oh, hell yeah, man. So, so we've got the schedule in front of us. I think, and what we'll be doing while we're there, I think, is we're going to be kind of updating our Facebook feed.
Yes.
So if you're going to be out there, you can find us at any given time.
Sure.
Like, we'll be updating the thing the whole time as we're there, like, snapping pictures and telling this is what we're doing now. This is what we're doing now. So, what are some things you're looking forward to out there, Steve?
All right. Well, I wrote like a list of the people that are going to be there in the panels and whatnot.
Sure, man.
And the ones that really appealed to me. And like the biggest one, of course, for me is Adam West and Burt Ward. Now, have you seen? Yeah. They're from that show. Biff, Buffo, Kablooey.
Hey man, I've said it before. Like back when we did a while back when we did our Batman episode.
Yeah.
Like, it was filled. It was camp. It was campy stuff.
Yeah.
But they knew what they were making.
Oh yeah.
They made a silly comedy, man, and
it was fun.
And it had its place.
Yeah.
Absolutely had its place.
Have you seen Boy Wonder? In the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Robin's not so spry anymore.
He lost his way to the Bat Gym, I think.
Yeah. Robin isn't so spry anymore. And that happens, you get older. But Adam West is still kind of a really well kept older gentleman.
Yeah.
And Robin has seen better days. But one of the things that, of course, I've learned over the years, and Robin's original intent, the reason he wears the bright colors,
yes,
is to be well, it's very true because he's acrobatic. He wants to be the Flash. It's part of the deception. Right. He wants to be the target while Batman slinks in the shadows and takes these people out. And that's the other reason why Batman's got the symbol on his chest, because the yellow attracts you, and that's
where he wears the. That's where he wears the
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the same process. But if you squeezed Burt Ward into a Robin suit now, I mean, you're talking about a human shield there.
Well, actually, I heard he's still wearing the Robin suit, strangely enough, because I heard on another podcast I listened to, like, they whipped out a picture, and like, this is Burt Ward now, still rocking the Robin suit, he's selling dog food. Hey, it's work.
You know what?
I'm not making fun.
It's a check.
Yeah, it's a check. I'm totally not making fun of the guy, man. If somebody offered me $1,000 to put on a Robin suit and sell dog food, I'd do it in a fucking heartbeat, and I'm sure he's making more than that. So.
You know what? Here's who I respect. I'm gonna get my soapbox here for a minute. I was going home to visit my mom,
sure.
And this was my mom lives in Sebastian, lives back in what they call the Highlands for you guys who are familiar with the area, and right there on the corner where the Winn-Dixie is. There's a Winn-Dixie there, a movie gallery that closed down.
Yes.
The movie gallery that closed down. Do you know what they put in there?
No. Was it a Little Caesars?
It was a Little. It's a Little Caesars. It is a Little Caesars.
Yeah.
And so when I went down there, it was June. It was like end of May, June. So it was hot by no stretch of the imagination. No stretch of the imagination was hot. And as I'm driving through there. The big thing for pizza places now is they have somebody out on the side, like out on the sidewalk.
Yes.
And they're doing, like, they're holding a sign. It's like, hey, come try our awesome pizzas. Mm-hmm. Or they're dressed up in a costume or something like that. So the last time I went, they had this guy. And he had a pizza guitar. So it was a guitar that said, hey, pizza's for $5.99.
Sure.
And
so out here the corner of the plaza area?
Yeah, so it was just right there on the corner. It's a real fucked up intersection where there's an accident there a day, but it's right there at the corner. And guy's standing out, and I guess he's supposed to be waving his little guitar sign, whatever. He's wearing long sleeves and jeans,
sure,
which I guess is part of their uniform, and a hat, and has long red hair down to I would say the small of his back.
Okay.
And a goatee. Just fire red, kind of guy. And it's thin as a rail. Of course he has to be standing out in the Florida heat.
Yeah.
I mean, you eat a pizza a day and still.
Right.
So I'm passing by, and usually when I look at these guys, it's like they look so fucking disenfranchised. You almost want to throw them a buck.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have it, you're like, dude, you're standing out in the sun. God bless you.
Like the fees.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
there's a guy we worked with. We called him the fees.
Yeah.
In his 50s, delivered pizzas. Had been divorced. I want to say twice. Am I right?
Well, I don't know if it was twice. It was one really bad one. It was something.
And so he would walk up to me and Steve. Of course, we were like maybe 20 years old. We were kids back then, and he'd be like, Steve, you married? No, don't ever fucking get married.
Yeah.
And you should hear the pain in his voice.
Yeah.
He'd turn around and walk away. So whenever you say someone disenfranchised and bitter, I think the fees.
Yeah. But no, so you expect that though out of those guys standing in the Florida heat.
Yeah.
Having to wave a sign probably for minimum wage. I mean, what we made as drivers, maybe even less.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look over at the dude, I shoot the guy a look I hear you, bro. I feel your pain. Not condescending at all, because I really feel for this guy.
Yeah.
And he kind of shoots me a look, and there's this knowing nod that we give each other. And that motherfucker goes to town on that guitar. He is on stage with Motorhead. and I'm sitting there, and the light turns green, and I'm standing in awe of this dude who's just going nuts, at this point down on one knee, playing it with his teeth, just whipping the hair back and forth like Willow Smith.
Yeah.
And cars are beeping at me because I'm watching this dude. I'm like, this is fuccking poetry in
motion.
motion.
There's a fucking concert going on. Fuck off.
Yeah, leave me alone. Don't you see what this guy's doing?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I pull away. And eventually, and I kind of come back, and come back later on that night, and there's some older kind of gentleman, clean cut, and he's just kind of waving the guitar.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that was our moment, that was our thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only there for a week, around about.
Is this where like you go in there and it's like, what happened to the red-haired guy? And they were
no,
like,
it's
they're
not.
like, old Ronnie? He died back in '76.
Yeah.
Did I just watch an angel?
Well, they say old Ronnie was coming down the pipe. Yeah, no, it's not one of those.
It was the worst accident I ever seen.
Yeah.
And when they pulled him out of the wreckage, he looks like this.
Yeah. No, it's not a story like that.
Okay.
It's more of an uplifting kind of story. But like, so I'm driving.
You know,
by
maybe
there.
if you had gone through that green light, you'd have been killed. You
Could
ever think
be
about that.
It could be. It could be.
Thank you, angel wearing jeans.
Yeah, exactly. So on my way out of there, like we're leaving, we said our goodbyes and had the car packed up, and we're driving to come back up to where we live in north of Atlanta now.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull up to the light, and the same red-haired man standing there with long red hair and the fiery goatee. We exchange the same glance.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker goes to town again. Like, he played me out of town. And it was just like, it was one of those moments where, it was like an end to like a 1980s sitcom. Or like, one of those things where like in the middle, like at the end, like is it jumping, like pausing high five?
Yeah.
It was uplifting, man.
So like at the end, like you're getting ready to leave or something like that, and then he suddenly busts out with like Tuesday's Gone as you're getting ready to leave.
Yeah, like something like
like,
you're just kind of looking at him, and your eyes meet, and he gives you a knowing nod,
right?
And he picks up the guitar, and he just goes fucking like from the heart. Yes, bitch. Right here, right. So we're looking.
Eye contact.
Yeah,
eye
we're
contact.
looking.
There it is.
It's like, what's up?
Hey, haven't seen you since Nam.
Gotta go, man. There's a big world out there, and I gotta get there.
You saved my life that night.
Play me home.
You got it.
Dude, look, what the fuck are these? What the fuck are these?
we both got goosebumps. We gave each other goosebumps.
Jumping, pausing, high five. Yeah, it was one of those moments. I don't even remember why the fuck I started telling that story.
It had something to do with Batman.
Yeah, it's something to do with fucking. That's how I feel when I watch Batman.
Like
I guess.
Tuesday's Gone.
No, it was Burt Ward and the dog food.
Yes.
So, at that point, I'll never look at those poor sobs out there, in costumes, slinging product the wrong way again, man, because he fucking changed my life. Dude in the red hair.
Yeah.
You know who you are. I fucking love you, man. That's all I have to say about that.
And what's the name of that? Is it like 512 or something that runs along?
Yes.
At the end of it, he's like, "We love you, 512."
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Look, I'm gonna call this motherfucker out. In Sebastian, Florida, on County Road 512, there is a Winn-Dixie shopping plaza. Right. All right. And there's gonna be the Little Caesars there. And if they've let this guy go for whatever reason, they've done a disservice to mankind. Go buy I don't care how shitty that pizza is. Buy Little Caesars pizza, because that motherfucker deserves your money. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's not getting the money though. I'm just.
Well, go give that man money. Give him money. If you see him, give that motherfucker some money. That's all.
If I see him playing, I'll slip him a $5.
But I'm saying, if Burt Ward did that with some dog food, fucking like, what's up? And I'm like, nothing, what's up? And he's like, hey man, this one's for you. And like pours the dog food into a bowl, like all inspirationally, then fucking yeah, Burt Ward.
Hey man, like you said, there's a paycheck.
Yeah,
it's a job, man.
It's a job.
So I'm not gonna make fun of him for that.
The other ones that I had on here, I watched a couple seasons of True Blood, and eventually...
I never saw that.
It's a good show. Yeah. And, it's starting to get...
very much like a softcore porn, from what I hear.
Some of it is. I'm going to say this shit right now. Sookie Stackhouse, fucking Rogue from the X-Men.
Oh, Anna Paquin.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
I always thought she was cute.
Well, I never did. But she's got a body that will not quit.
I was like,
amazing.
People, whenever like that movie came out, and I was like, oh, Anna Paquin, she's hot, she's cute. And they're like, no, that's gross. And now that show's big,
yeah.
I'm hearing her name more and more.
And you've heard of Eric the Viking? Fucking, I know you've heard of Eric.
I've heard Kevin Smith speak of him.
He's a beautiful man. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I mean, it very much, maybe even honestly for me, more than Chris Hemsworth. He's I mean that good looking of a dude. Yeah,
That's sexy.
Yeah, they got Joe Manganiello.
Wasn't he was in Magic Mike, wasn't he?
Fucking in Magic Mike, yeah. But he plays this guy named Alcide, and he does
Alcide?
Alcide Herveau. It's done
I
in
thought you said
71.
Alcide. I'm like, wasn't that a villain on The Tick?
No. It's done in it takes place out in Louisiana, so they're very kind of French Quarter sounding names. Lafayette's going to be there. Fans of the show are going to know who he is. Another dude that that dude kills it every episode he's in. To me, a big piece of what made the show from the seasons that I watched. I've watched up through, and you True Blood fans will know this. There was a story arc where there is a kind of a vampire politic thing going on, and this one vampire was going to become the vampire king of Louisiana. Usurp.
But then Wesley Snipes came down.
Dude, no, it's different. Like I'm saying, like a lot of people, and I've only seen up to that season. That season was excellent. I believe the plot line for the next season is that Eric the Viking vampire loses his fucking memory. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's a jump the shark kind of moment.
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of hate about it now. But to me, like up through there, it was a really well done show.
Well, I don't know. I'll say this too. Like you have stuff like that. You have this character that achieves their full potential.
Yeah.
And then you do a move like that pulls them back. Like I'll say, like, did you watch Heroes when that was on the air?
Yes. Well,
okay.
To an extent.
I watched the first 2.5 seasons. When they got into season 3, it got a little silly. But like all of season 1 was like the main hero, Peter Petrelli, like learning his powers, and he became like, at first you thought that he didn't really, his powers weren't that great because he could only kind of copy someone's powers when he was standing next to someone else with powers. Otherwise, he was useless. Throughout the end of season 1, spoilers, turns out like he just keeps those. He learns how to keep those powers. So basically, he has the powers of anybody that he's ever come into contact with, and he just becomes a supreme badass at the end of season 1.
Right.
Beginning of season 2, he's in a box somewhere and he's lost his memory.
Right.
And you're going, what the fuck? So this could be that could be the same moment for True Blood too.
Yeah.
How many seasons in are they now?
I want to say that was the end of the 3rd season that I watched through, but it was quality up through there, and I haven't seen after. But you know, it there were some moments there towards the end with a storyline that I didn't really 100% dig, but and I do hear kind of a lot of hate about it now. But you never know. Like my plan is eventually when they start kind of coming out into a format that I can watch, I'm gonna get back into it, try to catch up because it was a good show from what I watched.
Well, for me personally, Steve, I'd never.
Never what? God damn it.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Oh wait, you want to play more? Go ahead, because this is your yeah. Good.
No, that's right. I'm not gonna be that guy.
Are you sure?
All I need is a taste.
Because that's not the word that's going around.
Just don't you dare. Because I'll cry. We
can do this the entire fucking show.
Yeah. we will lose listeners, sir.
All
for our Rickroll versus Bird is the word battle.
All right. So getting back to the content.
Okay.
So they're gonna be there. I'm really excited to meet Lafayette if I get a chance to. He seems like every show that I see him in, he does a great job. Guess how many Supermen are going to be there?
Well, I know we're going to have Dean Cain.
Yes.
We're going to have anybody who's done the animated voices for Superman there?
Maybe.
Who are we looking at?
Adam Baldwin.
Adam Baldwin.
Adam Baldwin, who was on Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. He was the agent that was always with Chuck, not the girl, but worked as, I guess, one of the department heads in the store that he worked at, the Best Buy kind of clone store that he had. Adam Baldwin. I don't know if he's one of the Baldwins. Probably is, but does the voice of Superman for DC Universe Online and a lot of the newer animated stuff that Superman's coming out with.
Okay.
He does the voice for. I think Batman and Superman Apocalypse. That DVD, I think he does Superman on that.
Who was doing the voice prior to that? Do you recall?
Not sure.
For the old Kevin Conroy and
the old Superman animated series, and no, it wasn't him.
I mean, Kevin Conroy did Batman, and then the Superman, it was somebody else. Wasn't it like Tim Daly or something? It could
Makes sense. Makes
Sounds
sense.
familiar. Okay.
So we will have 2 Supermen there. I'm excited about meeting Dean Cain.
I want to meet Dean Cain. All right, man. Here's my thing. In the 90s, this was my show, man.
Yeah.
Every single Friday night, this is where I parked my ass for Lois and Clark. And this show was not without its flaws. But I think the show got progressively better as it went on until the show kind of centered around the romance between Lois Lane and Clark Kent.
Sure.
But as the series progressed, they started throwing in more and more comic booky stuff and battles and that kind of thing. I always liked Dean Cain, man, and I still do. I don't think he was the best Superman, not by any stretch of the imagination, but that was a good show.
But I'd have to put him up at, well, shoot. I mean, you're talking. You'd have to look at those things in their prisms. But I loved it too. I watched it. I watched it pretty religiously. I'm a big Dean Cain fan. I watched him on Ripley's Believe It or Not when that was on FX. Was it FX? It was TNT, TBS, one of those. But I used to watch that too. And he never got old to me. I liked him a lot. He was actually a football player for the University of Miami. So my dad knew him before. Didn't know him, but
knew of him.
Knew of him beforehand, and that kind of caught his eye. So we watched the show together, which was pretty cool. So he's going to be there. That's somebody I definitely want to meet. There are a couple though. That are kind of off the beaten path. Well, also before we get to those, John Rhys Davies, fucking Gimli. Think of what John Rhys Davies has done.
Well, let's see. To his nerd cred, aside from tons of movies, we got Indiana Jones right off the hand.
Yep.
We've got he was Gimli, like you just said.
Fucking Gimli.
And then he was Professor Arturo
in
Sliders, which started out as a great series.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The first 3
Oh my God.
The first 3 seasons, that was a damn good show.
Yeah.
I kind of always considered Sliders to be the show that lost its way, but they were kind of in production limbo, man. Like they wanted to keep going, and then I think the station they were with, I want to say it was Fox originally. Like they dropped them, but they ended up going through the Sci-Fi Channel, and then to be on the Sci-Fi Channel, they had to make it like more sci-fi-y.
Yeah.
And it just in the show. I mean, by the end of it, I think the only person who was in the original cast that stayed on the show was Rembrandt. Everybody else either died or got dropped in some dimension as the actors. You didn't even have Jerry O'Connell on it by the end of it anymore.
Yeah.
He was the main character.
Well, it's Jerry. Jerry Romaine O'Connell now.
Yeah. Well, I had changed my last name if I was banging Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah. The Stamos curse.
Oh God. I would do terrible things.
Yeah. So John Rhys Davies is going to be there. Honestly, that's really up there. For people that I want to meet. And he's kind of one of those, fringe, not a fringe guy, but kind of he's running the circuit path, the stag version. He's just out there, he's like, I'm fucking John Rhys Davies, that's why I'm here, what's up?
Yeah.
So he's allowed to do that because he's gone that far in nerd culture. Somebody else that has that same entitlement is going to be there.
Who's that?
It is the only Robin Hood with an English accent.
All right, so we're obviously not looking at Kevin Costner here.
No.
We're not going to have Kevin Costner there. We're not looking at Russell Crowe. That's
God,
for damn
no.
sure. That's
No.
a terrible movie. Okay. Are you referring to a certain Robin Hood that liked to wear tights?
Yes!
How did I know?
We're men in tights.
We roam around the forest looking for fights. We're men in tights. We welcome the rich and give to the poor. That's right! Dude, Wait. Right, sissies. Watch what you say or else we'll put out your lights. We're men in tights. Tights. Always on guard defending the people's rights. Come on, it's fun.
Absolutely,
So
man.
you're not singing along,
Oh,
Steve.
yeah, well,
I'm singing along.
It's honestly, it's been 15 years since I've seen that movie.
I own it.
Yeah, it's been.
That's a watch at least once a year movie.
Yeah, honestly, all Mel Brooks stuff to me is on that level. It's a matter of finding it at the right time and when you have time to sit and watch it. But also Princess Bride, fucking brilliant in that. Hey,
Dread Pirate Roberts.
you know who else was in the Princess Bride there?
Go away, Norm Macdonald. I hate you.
Andre the Giant.
Yes, he was in The Princess Bride.
Did you know he was 12 feet tall?
No,
you believe that?
That's not accurate at
Unbelievable.
all. He was not 12 feet tall.
14 feet tall.
He was no.
Andre the Giant
No.
had arms the size of cans of beans. Giant cans of beans. Yeah?
What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, Andre the Giant, big guy.
They weren't that. No, I know who he is.
9 feet tall.
Cans of beans. He was. Go away, Norm.
All right, so Carrie Elways from Princess Bride is going to be there.
Oh yeah, I saw a dude dressed up like Dread Pirate Roberts last year.
Yeah.
And me and when I was at DragonCon, me and some buddies were in we were in a Hooters downtown Atlanta. We were sitting there munching on some wings, having a beer, and Dread Pirate Roberts walked in, but looked like Dread Pirate Roberts had just straight up swallowed a bowling ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm all for dressing up at the cons, man, but don't do the character a disservice by, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not. I'm going. My costume is the same costume as every year because it's cheap and easy for me to do. I'm going as Iron Man, but this year, well, I know
you're copping out on me, man.
Well, but look, I look the part. I can do it. I've had the beard
Why
for a
don't
long
you be
time.
one of the Black Lanterns or something? That'd be kind of badass.
Maybe next year.
Let's do it this year.
With the kid and everything, it's been
Come on, Steve.
But
I'm gonna be Bizarro Superman. We can be DC villains.
But I did get the actual shirt that he wears in the Avengers, the one with the Black Sabbath shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wear that and wear a pair of jeans. I've got the beard. So, but mine isn't so much like I could have. But still, you know, in case Robert Downey Jr. is there, I don't want to look like a schlub in front of him. You know, I bought the
He's
T-shirt.
not gonna be there, Steve.
I understand that, but there is an Avengers panel, and I'm gonna go to it.
Is there?
Yes. It's in the Whedon track. There's a Joss Whedon track, and there is gonna be an Avengers panel, and I'm gonna go to it. I don't think that he's going to be there, but I'm going to wear the shirt there. I'm going to wear the beard there. I'm gonna have the hair. Everything's gonna be done up. But, you know, even though that's not something that is a real physically demanding kind of thing, I'm not going to try to pretend that I'm Robert Downey Jr. with, you know, a little extra midsection. So even I've been trying to get into shape for my costume.
Fair enough, man.
So yeah, I could see how that would be. You know, if you're going to go, try to look the
Like,
part. Don't get on the B reel like the.
Don't go as Superman if you're like 5'7" and 300 pounds. Is what I'm saying. And
Yeah,
actually, it's funny is I was there with my buddy Nino last year, and we saw this kid. Like, we were standing in line to get in, and we saw this kid, and like he was easily 350 pounds. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, you know, bless his heart. Not saying anything bad about the poor kid. He was just grossly overweight.
Glandular.
And he was wearing a super tight Superman costume, and he's like leaned up against a post or whatever. And so I couldn't help it, man. I snapped a picture of him, and we posted it to Nerdtopia. And just like, say something about this picture. And we got all kinds of stuff in Nerdtopia, like, looks like Superman's falling on hard times.
Yeah. Yeah, he took the bad kryptonite. Yeah, so, you know, I mean, that's kind of the point. You don't ever want to make, like, if you're going to go there, either show up and do it right or kind of don't go, because you don't want to ever make that B-roll of footage that, you know, that's going to be in the AJC the next day.
Yeah.
You know, people who shouldn't have dressed the way that they did.
Yeah.
You know, you never want to be on that list. All right, so
hey, that Joss Whedon fan track, are they also going to have Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog? Is that where that's going down?
They absolutely are going to have that. They're going to have everything Joss Whedon appropriate is going to be there, including Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Oh man, are you familiar with it, Steve?
I have not seen it, but I plan on watching it very soon.
All right, we should watch it tonight. I'm telling you. All right, I'm going to just take a minute to talk about Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. If you've never seen it before, the premise, first of all, you have to watch it. It was made in 2008, and it was created by Joss Whedon as a direct-to-internet movie. So this wasn't released to DVD or anything like that. This was strictly for the fanboys, basically. And Neil Patrick Harris plays Dr. Horrible, and he is trying to get into, I think it was the Super Evil League of Evil. So it's very much a spoof on the supervillain genre. So this is the opening scene from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, where he's reading his mail on his video blog, and this is just kind of give you an idea because it's got some dark humor in it.
Okay.
This is a little piece of that.
Sure.
Dr. Horrible, I see you are once again afraid to do battle with your nemesis. I waited at Dooley Park for 45 minutes. Okay, dude, you're not my nemesis. My nemesis is Captain Hammer. Captain Hammer, corporate tool. Dislocated my shoulder. Again. Last week. Look, I'm just trying to change the world, okay? I don't have time for a grudge match with every poser in a parka. Besides, there's kids in that park, so...
So that's the opening scene, part of the opening scene from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. And
right.
As you may have guessed, it's a musical. So they brought in some, and me, like, I've always been a big theater kid. I love the musicals.
Right.
Absolutely love it. And so this is a little taste of a song. This is called Brand New Day. This is at the end of Act 2 when he kind of goes off the deep end and goes from being kind of a semi-bad guy to really being a nasty dude.
This appeared as a moral dilemma, cause at first it was weird, though I swore to eliminate the worst of the plague that devoured humanity. It's true, I was vague on the how, so how can it be that you have shown me the light? It's a brand new day, and the sun is high. All the birds are singing that you're gonna die. How I hesitated, now I wonder why. It's a brand new day.
So that's a little piece of the sound, and like, man, it's a brilliant piece of filmmaking.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be. So I imagine it has such a big because of the way they released it. They marketed it very. It was very smart. So they marketed it in such a way that it has a very specific cult following.
Right.
So they're gonna actually have a Dr. Horrible sing-along blog sing-along there, if I remember correctly. And last time I checked the guest list, Felicia Day is going to be there. Felicia Day, if you don't know, she's most well known for her internet series The Guild, about a group of online gamers. But she also starred in this alongside Neil Patrick Harris, so she's going to be there. So that's kind of cool.
Okay.
But it has a very close fan following. So imagine it to be something akin to if you have ever been to see a live Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
People come in costume and there's crowd interaction and that kind of thing. So I think we should all watch it and then go to this, just to be kind of part of that community.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, it's one of, man, you know, I think that was such a kind of a special, like, capture, you know, moment in time with the Rocky Horror stuff, because the other one that came out at the same time, there's a Drew Carey show. It was an Australian one, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Yeah. That came out about the same time, so there was the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and they had, like, you know, the event, you know, going to watch those was an event, and it's still very much the same thing with some of the movies that we've covered, The Room especially. Mm-hmm. They still have specials, you know, when they go up and they show The Room, and there are
it's that same sort of mentality.
Sure. Yeah. So that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. So there are a couple more that are on the list that are, you know, kind of their own kind of thing that don't really stick. And one that stuck out with me, really stuck out for me, was Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh, is he going to be there?
Freaking Anthony Michael Hall, like out of nowhere.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, because, you know, one of the things that
we all grew up with him, dude.
I forgot about. Of course, he was in all the John Hughes stuff, 16 Candles.
Weird Science,
Breakfast Club. He was in all those, but then afterwards, he had he did a show on Sci-Fi.
Dead something. Dead Zone.
Dead Zone. He did Dead Zone on Sci-Fi.
I never saw it, but I heard it was amazing.
Yeah, and that ended up having a cult following as well. So that really surprised me. But it also kind of got me thinking that that's another thing that I need to go back and revisit and take a look at that before we go to DragonCon. This is of course, you know, all the Star Trek guys are going to be there, with the exception of Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
he bowed out.
Well, that's okay, because I don't need my wife. I
don't
need my wife seeing him. And
much to both of our wives'
tingly and her naughty bits.
Yeah. Patrick Stewart has bowed out. But you know, as soon as he bowed out, they announced another guest.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard this.
Well, apparently, you know, they were afraid that they weren't going to be able to put on DragonCon at all, and so they locked themselves in a room. Mm-hmm. And
cut themselves?
Nope.
Drank the Kool-Aid?
Nope. And they only had a paperclip, some bubble gum, and some fishing wire to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Dean Anderson also known as MacGyver, will be at DragonCon this year, 2012.
Holy shit.
Yes.
That's fucking huge.
Yeah. So, that's kind of, he's listed as, not, I guess, unofficially kind of list, but we saw Patrick Stewart drop out, and then Richard Dean Anderson kind of jumped in. So that's going to be another one I'm really, really excited to meet. Of course, he was in, he's got enough credit with MacGyver, which is the kind of the show that made him, gave him his... Yes!
Hey, MacGyver, there's a nuclear bomb about to go off. We gotta get in there and disarm
Shut
it.
up! Vicky, I need toothpaste, I need a bottle of Pert Plus, and I need 16 Diet Colas.
Wait a minute, what the fuck is that?
Shut up, Vicky!
I used to, man... This has become the theme show song today. I don't care, man.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's, dude, man, I used so many memories of watching MacGyver with my folks, dude.
Yeah.
And then my wife got really into Stargate over the last couple of years. She watched the whole series back to back.
Yeah, that was his. That of course became his later kind of claim to fame. As he went and did Stargate. So that is, I guess, kind of his DragonCon cred. And so they're bringing MacGyver to DragonCon, which is going to be awesome. There's one on here, and you're going to be a little surprised when I tell you I'm really, really looking forward to her showing up, but I have kind of an auspicious reason as to why. And I can't really figure out exactly what she's doing there other than her voiceover work.
Okay.
Kathy Najimy, are you familiar with Kathy?
I remember her from Disney's Hocus Pocus.
She was
also in Rat Race. She starred as John Lovitz's wife in that.
She did. She's been in...
What voice work has she done, though?
Well, she was Peggy Hill.
Oh, was she?
From King of the Hill.
Did not know that.
And one of the tracks that they do, it's an animation track, and it's it's basically a bunch of people who do a lot of voiceover work, and a couple of the shows that we saw, they did. Somebody posted in Nerdtopia a couple of weeks ago, a bunch of voice actors reading something in different characters. So I think maybe they were reading A New Hope.
Okay, sure.
But they were reading it as like Stimpy and as Kevin Conroy as Batman, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's gonna, it's cool to listen to them and kind of do their art and do what they do. But I'm interested in having Kathy Najimy there for a different reason. Kathy Najimy's husband actually wrote. They didn't write this, but he performed a very, very memorable version of a song, of a classic song for a movie, and I'm gonna play a little bit for you here.
Oh wait a minute, this is not the original.
This is a live version.
Yeah, but this is not the original band, though, is it?
Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you never come around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified of something hurting. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified. I see the fucking look in your eyes.
Kathy Najimy's
Fucking
husband
every now and then I fall apart.
fucking
need you more than ever.
His name is Dan.
Yes.
And his group is called the Dan Band. And if you remember,
I remember the Dan Band.
Yeah,
from Old School.
And they were also in Starsky and Hutch when they did that remake. Wedding Crashers, they were also in that.
Did you hear their Christmas song they put out some years ago?
I have that as well.
Do you have that on there?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man,
Yeah.
that song made me laugh my ass because it caught me by surprise on the radio one day.
Yeah.
Laughed my ass off at these
Here's a
guys.
little bit of that.
I'm glad you have it.
Yeah.
While the jingle bells are jingling and the snow begins to fall, and my grandma makes a gingerbread cookies just across the hall.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm freaking about what to get you.
Present
It
later.
suddenly occurs to me
hear something sweet.
The best Christmas present is to rock your body underneath the fucking tree. I wanna rock you home this Christmas.
So, but
Look at
to
the
me,
line about like slipping his candy cane into her stocking.
yeah,
or
we're not gonna
something.
play the whole thing. Look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've gotten more mileage out of this album than my first car. The Dan Band.
Are they gonna be at DragonCon?
You never know. You never know.
I
They're
hope
not
so,
listed. But it's Kathy Najimy's husband. Look.
That's a different star
Yeah.
altogether. I've seen her work in Backdoor Sluts Part 82. Okay.
But her husband is the lead singer of the Dan Band, and you can see
That's
him.
her husband?
That's her husband.
He looks like a younger dude, though, man.
And, well, Kathy Najimy is younger as well, younger than you'd expect. But yeah, they're about the same age.
She must give crazy head or something.
She might. I don't know, man. What their live album is, the album I got is the Dan Band Live, has a bunch of traditionally female recorded songs.
Sure.
And their version of it, and it's laden with curse words. So, a couple of my favorites, of course, Total Eclipse from the Heart.
Mm-hmm.
He does a great version of the Flashdance theme song.
Mm-hmm.
What a Feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that goes into a version of Fame, I'm Gonna Live Forever. Genie in a Bottle, What a Man, What a Man, What a Mighty Good Man.
Oh, God.
A whole ABBA medley. So, like, but it's brilliant on its own level. You're not going to hear anything like it. So that's kind of my secret reason for really wanting to meet Kathy and Jimmy, is be like, hey, your husband is really awesome. That's all I wanted to say, and then walk out of line. But she's going to be there. Don't know whether, I wouldn't think the Dan Band's going to be there. They will have some musical acts at DragonCon.
Okay.
There's a couple of them. One I'm really looking forward to is a band called Emerald Rose, and they're a Celtic folk rock band. But the reason I'm looking forward to them is that they're part of what they're touting as a Night and Brie. So basically, they're going to
rename the tavern at what was the name of this Riverdale? I want to say River.
No, it wasn't quite there. It was in Brie.
Brie, I thought Brie was the name of the tavern.
I think it's the Laughing Pony or something.
The Laughing Pony in the town of Brie.
The town of Brie.
Okay.
And
on the same page now.
From Lord of the Rings, and so they're gonna basically doing a Night in Brie where it's just going to be
our wives are gonna go ape shit, dude.
Both our wives are big Lord of the Rings fans, and so I'm really looking forward to that because I think it's gonna be fun. The other one is the gentleman you may know his work already is a gentleman by the name of Voltaire.
I fucking love Voltaire.
Yeah, we'll give you a little bit of Voltaire here in case you haven't heard him before.
Right, this is a little piece of his song. This is called the USS Make Shit Up, and this is how I was introduced to him. He's going to be playing there this year, and what this makes fun of, and Steve, you've watched, you don't have to be a big Star Trek fan to know the format of the show. Basically, right. You've got an away team or mission or the captain on the bridge or something like. Anyways, they're always they write themselves into some sort of fucking corner.
Right.
And the way they always get out, that's what I love about science fiction and fantasy, is you can either, if for science fiction, you can either techno-babble your way out of something.
Right.
By making up some bullshit, or, with fantasy, you could just make up some sort of fucking magic thing, or in Star Wars, it's the Force, whatever. So, that's what this show was, or that's what this song he made was about. I'm going to play, probably up to the first verse.
Okay.
Or the first verse and chorus, so you kind of get an idea for it.
Do it.
All right, here we go. Me and my wife sing this song quite frequently. We love it.
I was stranded on a planet, just me and Spock. We met a nasty Nazi alien, and he locked our asses up. We found a hunk of crystal and a metal piece of bed. We made a laser phaser gun, shot him in the head. Bust a move, dog. I was standing on the bridge when Sulu came to me. His eyes were full of tears. He said, "Captain, can't you see? The ship is gonna blow to something I besiege." I grabbed a tribble and some chewing gum and stopped the warp core breach. And I say, bounce the graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish. That's the way we do things, lad. We're making shit up as we wish. The Klingons and the Romulans pose no threat to us. 'Cause if we find we're in a bind, we just make some shit up.
A little taste of Voltaire for you, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, and all of his stuff is nerd centric like that, man. He's got a lot of Star Trek songs. He's got a lot of other nerd centric stuff, man. So if I can help it, man, I want to get out there and give him a listen. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and that's gonna kind of be one of the big acts that are there. If you're not familiar with DragonCon, you're planning on going this year. We wanted to kind of give you an outline of what this kind of looks like. Of course, there are the main events. Yeah, the big thing, of course, is the parade. People go there. You got to sign up way the fucking advance. So if you don't know about it now, get on the ball. The spots may already be taken. But a lot of costume contests there. People go in costume. But basically, it's broken up into what they call tracks, and tracks are groups of programming based on content. I'm just going to go through. I'm going to list the tracks here. I'm going to go through them kind of fast. We'll expound on a few of them afterwards, but I want to make sure that you guys know what all the tracks are. First, there's I'll pause it after a few of them.
Sure.
There's an alternate history track.
Fuck you.
That is the steampunk track.
Fuck you.
American sci-fi classics, American sci-fi media, animation, anime/manga, and McCaffrey's World, of course, Dragon Riders of Pern and McCaffrey and her son Todd. Apocalypse Rising, which is all apocalyptic.
Yeah, you got a lot of probably zombie stuff in there.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, Z-Day stuff. Art show programming, autograph sessions, British sci-fi media, comics and pop art, costuming, dark fantasy,
Okay.
electronic
horror, probably.
Yep, Electronic Frontiers Forum, which is that's all computer stuff, SOPA, PIPA stuff.
Okay.
Gaming programming, independent film and festival going on during all this.
Okay.
They've got a thing called Kaleidoscope, which is basically parents of geek children.
All right.
Yep. Live performances. An MMORPG track, which that's the Finger of the Warcraft track, which I really want to kind of check out.
Okay.
Pieces of that. Paranormal track. A bunch of guys from the Ghostbusters show, not the Ghostbusters, the Ghost Hunters show.
Right.
Mythbusters, things like that. They're going to be on there. Podcasting track.
We've already RSVP'd for that, sir.
Yeah, so we will be checking out some of the podcasting sessions there. Puppetry track, reading sessions, Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, not familiar with that. Robotics.
Robert Jordan, actually, they're great books. And he's a great, he's up there with R.A. Salvador.
Okay. Robotics, sci-fi and fantasy literature, so it's kind of the all-encompassing. Special guest is here for that track is going to be R.A. Salvatore.
Okay.
Science, Silk Road, Asian cinema and culture, Skeptics track, space, Star Wars, the Stargate multiverse, of course the Trek track, video gaming track, the Whedon universe, which is where we'll have Dr. Horrible sing along,
Yes.
we'll have Firefly and the Avengers
yeah.
panel. Workshops, a writer's track, an X track, and the X track is basically going to be kind of your supernatural and fringe and those types of shows are going to be there. Kind of the young, hip kind of shows.
Yeah, okay.
Vampire Diaries. And then finally, young adult literature, which I think is going to be like your Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
So those are all the tracks. And inside, you have pretty much 4 days of programming into each of those. So, there are workshops, there are panels, there are all those things set up, screenings, and then so you go there and you kind of hop from place to place and go look at these tracks. So, it's all really exciting stuff. All of them have special events, and it's literally 4 days of more stuff than you could ever hope to do, ever hope to cover in geekdom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, especially this year, the Whedon track is going to be really, really big. For me, the paranormal track, I'm always into those Ghost Hunter shows, man. I can't.
I'm not a
stop
fan.
watching them.
I gotta say, I'm
I
not
love
a fan.
them. And they're gonna have a couple of the guys from the shows there you can talk to, which is gonna be cool. Some of the Warcraft stuff, especially the costume contest. They're gonna have a Warcraft costume contest. Would love to see that.
There's gonna be a hero and villains ball.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about, since sometimes I'll be wearing my NerdtopiaCast t-shirt during
Right.
the day, and that's how you guys can find us. We're gonna have our t-shirts. But in the evenings when I come, I'm gonna come decked out as Bizarro Superman. I've got the costume, man. It's badass.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about hitting up that hero and villains ball that night.
They're also doing a zombie prom.
Interesting.
Yeah,
don't
which I
know if
thought
that's
would be
quite my cup of tea.
It's just kind of intrigued me enough to the point where I may have to just duck my head in and see what it's all about. But the cool thing is, for most of these things, if you buy a pass, you can get into them kind of no problem.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of DragonCon in a prism as far as what we're going to be looking at here in a few days. I'm really looking forward to it. I've got, I think, Wednesday through the next Tuesday off to make sure I get recoup time because there's going to be a lot of walking.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of fun, so I can't wait. I'm stoked.
I'm excited too, man. Lots of good stuff out there for us to take a look at. I think did we cover all that? You mentioned the podcasting track. Now that's something that we're gonna go not necessarily for fun, but that's gonna be that's learning time for us.
Right,
We're gonna be on the clock learning. Maybe making some connections and just kind of learning what we need to do to kind of expand ourselves as podcasters and make it out here in this big world right now, man. Because like you said, way back in episode 0, the prequel, this is the brave new world in media right now.
Absolutely.
And this is where the future is. And it's like you said several times, like the great Kevin Smith says, you got to be where the puck, or which he got from the great one Wayne Gretzky. Don't be where the puck is, be where the puck's going.
Right.
And so we're just trying to get to where the puck's going, man. So this is going to be a great opportunity for us, and once again, come out and see us, man. We're going to be out there shaking hands and making plans.
Yep. So, and we'll make sure that we keep all of that stuff. You can always check the
Facebook feed.
The Facebook feed is probably going to be the easiest way for us to update and keep you guys posted as far as where we were or where we're going, and that's www.facebook.com/NerdtopiaCast. You have to have that cast in there in order to check us out, and we're going to make sure that we keep up with. You guys can kind of know where we are based on from there. It'll be easy for us to communicate that way, when we get back, we're gonna have a whole slew of new content.
Well, when you hear us next, we'll be reporting from DragonCon.
Exactly.
And we'll probably stretch it out over 2 weeks. It'll be a 2-parter.
Yeah,
I think.
We're gonna have a bunch of people. We're gonna have round tables. Just kind of what did you see? What did you like? DragonCon stories, all that other kind of stuff, and 4 days of nerd paradise in our own backyard. So I'm looking forward to it. I know he's looking forward to it. We got tickets back in
April. Yeah,
April.
Way back when, man.
So,
but now we're a couple days away. So
yeah,
it's exciting times, man. There's some parties. We got the Apocalypto Disco.
Yeah.
The Aether Lounge, is that like a WoW thing?
Aether Lounge.
Yeah, Aether Lounge.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, World of Warcraft fan gathering.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of going through the whole thing right now. So guys, you got anything else? Go ahead and sign off.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm ready to go. I've got my very, very simple minimalistic costume pieced up and ready to go. Oh, come on. Look, I mean, it's not that. Yeah.
Also, if you're gonna be in costume, come out and find us, because we're gonna take your picture and we're gonna put you up on our website.
Yes.
www.nerdtopiacast.com. We're gonna have a picture gallery. We want you in that gallery, so you come up and see us.
Yeah, we're gonna actually be out there taking pictures to make sure that we get that we want to meet every one of you that we possibly can. So don't be afraid to come look for us. Certainly, if you see two bored-looking dudes hanging out in
black t-shirts that say NerdtopiaCast.com on them,
please come up, introduce yourselves. We're you guys are the reason that we do this, and anybody that we have the pleasure to meet. Is going to be impactful to us too. So that's all I have, man.
Yeah, I know. That's. I think we've got bags to pack, man.
We're ready to go.
Get out of here for DragonCon.
Yep.
All right, guys. Signing off until DragonCon. This has been Doolin Dalton,
and I'm Steve Wareham.
Signing out. Thanks, guys. Thanks for running out with us, guys. Peace.
DragonCon for the back and for the side.
Hey, find more free nerdy funny at www.NerdtopiaCast.com.
And check us out on iTunes and Stitcher.